Hello, once again, thank you for sticking around and tuning into Hidden Heroes, the show dedicated to highlighting speedrunners who are part of marginalized or otherwise underrepresented communities. This is a continuation of sorts of the International Non-Binary People's Day celebration that was on just this past weekend. Of course, I'm not Anarchy. Anarchy, the normal host of Hidden Heroes, unfortunately unable to make it today. I'm Helix, filling in for Banjo-Tooie is coming up right about now with Ad129. Ad, how are you?
I'm doing good. I am very excited for this run.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. There's a lot to go over with this run, but I'll just introduce myself. I'm Ad129. I run this game, I run the other Banjo game, and a whole bunch of other games. So we're going to start our timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, so you may be wondering what Cheato percent even is. So basically, Cheato percent is a category. I don't exactly know when it was created, but it was created at some point. And the whole premise is we need to beat the game as fast as possible with the use of cheats that are like in game. So we're going to be seeing those cheats much later on. Also, I didn't mention, I just completely glossed over. That was our first skip. That's a skip that skips a whole entire cutscene that is like about 30 seconds long. So anyways, so yeah, our goal is to just get to the final boss, which is Hag 1, as fast as possible, and basically just get everything we need for that as well. So we need to collect 315 notes for one move and one move only, and it's called Clockwork Eggs. And that move basically is used in the middle of the fight, and we'll get into that when we get to the fight. So our current goal is to just get as many of those notes as fast as possible. So here we have our first boss. This is Klungo. Klungo was like a side character in Banjo-Kazooie, but in this game he has a much prominent role because he is our first boss, a boss much later on, and the second to last boss. Klungo is basically like the sidekick to Gruntilda, and so we just defeated him. This fight is RNG based. There are 3 potions you can pull out. I got the lucky one, which is green potion. It's the safest one because it's quite literally he goes invisible, but he doesn't like waste enough time. So it's very useful. He has 2 other potions. He has a red potion, which he grows big, and then he'll like try to like attack you from there. That one is the slowest, and then there's a blue potion, which I really dislike for the reason of it basically makes him go in. It's like split up into multiple versions of him, and you have to hit the right version. I really don't like that one. I always hit the wrong one at some point. So good thing we didn't get that one though. So now we're gonna be doing our second skip, kind of. So this house right here has a treble clef that normally you would get later on in the game. But if we do some very precise beak busting here, we're able to kind of use the beak bust mechanic to kind of get on top of this house. So it's a little precise. It might take me a couple more tries. Just gonna focus. So close, Banjo. There we go, nice. So that's our first collectible of the game, the treble clef. Treble clefs give you 20 notes, and then we'll see them later, but there are note nests, and those give you 5. So those are the main things we're going to be collecting in this run. So there's another collectible in this game that you might know, and they're called Jiggies. So Jiggies are normally what we would collect in any percent no bit clips, which is another category I run. We would collect 14 of those. However, in this category, this is the only one we grab, so enjoy the little jingle, because that's the only time we're going to hear it in the run. All right, so what we are basically required to grab that one for 2 reasons. One, to leave this area of Jinjo Village, we need to watch this cutscene coming up. And then also, one of the levels we'll be going to later, Mayhem Temple, which is the first level, requires 1 Jiggy, which means we need to basically open it, because there's no real way to get in there early. At least RTA viable. So yeah. You may be noticing I'm also running on the Japanese version. We're actually going to be getting into that in a bit with the cutscene coming up. basically, there's this one cutscene after we go inside a Bottle's house where on the NTSCU version, and I also believe the PAL version, you are unable to skip for some reason. But on the Japanese version and on the Xbox version, theoretically, you are able to skip it. And so basically, as we leave this house, we're going to see that cutscene. Also, we just met Goggles. Goggles gave us this little useful ability where we're able to zoom in. We'll be using that in a much later section in the run. So this is the text box we skip. We don't know why that's skippable in the Japanese version, and it's not on the NTSC version. But it is just a thing. All right, so now we're going to be doing a very fun set of glitches. So this first one is called Plateau Early. First try, let's go. All right, and then this next glitch, after collecting some more notes in this area, we're basically going to be performing a glitch called Glitter Gulch Mine Early. And this glitch is a little bit precise. It requires a decent setup to get. So once I grab these notes here, we're going to be doing GGM early. So grab these, and the note routing in this category is very much precise, at least for the early part of the run, because we need to grab those now instead of like waiting later. So I'm going to focus for a bit because this glitch is a little bit precise. So I'm going to zoom in my camera like that and then line myself up just like that. First try. All right, so now we're in Glitter Gulch Mine. So there are a couple things we got to do here. The first task is to unlock the move called Build Drill. So you need to get 85 notes before talking to Jam Jars, who's our character who gives us our move. So we need to grab 85 notes as soon as possible. So there's some easy ones here. Ooh, I need that one. All right, and then we're gonna literally go this path right here because there are more notes over here. There are 5 note nests here. Okay, just like that. And then now we're gonna go into the other side of this area, and this is where we're gonna unlock Build Drill. And what Build Drill is, it's basically a much improved version of the Beak Bust, where we're able to now destroy different rocks. And this is very useful for us because there's a rock in Mayhem Temple, which we'll be going to next, which is a long process to destroy, but if we have Build Drill, we can just go up to the rock and just destroy it. So that's why we go into Glitter Gulch Mine first in this route, because we need to unlock Build Drill as soon as possible. So here we're just gonna grab some notes here, just like that, and then now we have 100. We're gonna warp to the beginning, and now we're gonna be doing a setup for a glitch that is coming up, which is very important for this run. This glitch, I'll go over it a little bit right now, but it's going to be very complicated to explain fully. So this glitch is called DCW, or Delayed Cutscene Warp. What this basically does is it will allow us to basically warp to any previously stored cutscene. And that is very broken because that theoretically means we can go to the final boss with just watching that cutscene, which we do. So we're basically going to be doing the first part of it. There are 3 different setups, or 3 steps to this setup. So first one is we have to go turn ourselves into the detonator. And then we're going to be going into the fuel depot for 2 reasons. 1, there's notes. And 2, there's also this box that is required for this setup. So basically the detonator has this like awesome move where we're able to kind of destroy rocks like these, and so it's a little bit precise sometimes he just jumps around over the like trigger. It's like really dumb. But yeah, so this is the sorcerer's box. Basically, this box allows us to play a minigame in the future level Witchy World. But since we don't have this area unlocked technically, the game will not let it go through. And so it's just going to stay right there and it's going to be stuck. That is very important for what we're going to be doing later on. But we're not going to go over that right now. We are done with Glitter Gulch Mine for now. We are going to come back later. But now we're done with that section. So now we're going to be going into Mayhem Temple. Before we do that, we have to grab 2 different egg upgrades. The first one is fire eggs, which we only use like once. It's just to like get to the next area. And then the next one is, which is more important, the grenade eggs. So not much to like really talk about during this. Like I'm just gonna be grabbing those moves and then unlocking an entire level. So like, Helix, if you have anything to say, you have about like 3 to 4 minutes. It's a lot of time.
Hey, all right, that gives us some time to talk about Frame Fatales, GDQ's all-women and femme speedrun community. They are actually preparing for their next event right now, Flame Fatales, which will be September 7th through 14th. It's coming up. September is sooner than I realized, so that's in like a month and a half. The schedule is now, yeah, the schedule is now live at gamesdonequick.com/schedule/58. And of course, you can type !FF in chat, which I see someone already did. You're thinking ahead. Yes, that has more information on how you can join the Discord and stay up to date with all things Frame Fatales. I bring this up because, Ad, I know you have a run in that event. Do you want to tell me a little bit about it?
I do. Yeah, so I'm running G-Force, the video game. If you know the movie, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's very silly, but it's also really fun. I'll be running that on day 1, September 7th at, I believe, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't remember exactly, but basically I'm running that. I also have Donkey Kong 64, any percent 3 Kongs on backup, so very awesome runs on my end, so definitely don't want to miss those runs.
You're right, by the way. Your run is Sunday, September 7th at looks like 6:15 p.m. Central Time currently scheduled, so that would be 7:15 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, let's go. All right. So yeah, now we're back into Wooded Hollow. We're actually here doing stuff, but not for long because we're just gonna be opening a level. This is a required step in every single category of Banjo-Tooie. We have to unlock Mayhem Temple. Basically, the reason is in true any percent, you do these glitches called bit clips. Very complicated. I'll give you a summary. Sub-pixel floating points that you just go through the floor and get into levels early. So there is one for Mayhem Temple. However, it's TAS only because the setup is quite literally impossible to perform even with a TAS. So like, it's not going to be viable anytime soon for us to get into Mayhem Temple. And so we have to do this mechanic, which is just solving a puzzle to enter the level. So that's the only one we do in this run, thankfully. I'm like surprisingly really bad at these. If you watch my 100% runs, you know how much I struggle with these. But yeah, here's another like minute and a half cutscene. But yeah, you may be wondering also, I'll show on camera, I have my L button rubber banded. The reason for that is, you may be noticing I've been skipping a lot of text. The reason you do that is because if you press L, R, and B, it will just skip a lot of the text. And so the L button, infamously not being useful for a lot of things, doesn't affect anything in this game. And so we just, in Tooie speedrunning, we just rubber band it down because like, we just want to naturally just do that. A really funny thing is if you rubber banded your controller for Banjo-Kazooie, you actually can't really do a lot of stuff. It like cancels out a lot of your moves for some reason. It's honestly really funny. And so when you're doing like marathons such as like Banjo 200% or like where you do like both of them back to back, it's like, oh, I have to like now set up my rubber band for this part of the run now. It's really funny. All right, so now we're in Mayhem Temple. This is kind of the really hard part of the run. This is where like all the hard stuff comes in. So, ooh, I am not on the rock. Oh, let me on the rock. There we go. So that's why we get Bill Drill, because we activate this flight pad, and this flight pad pretty much opens up this level pretty good. So we're gonna basically get this treble clef mid-air, and then we're gonna fly to get a specific move over here. This move is required for us to get for the reason of we cannot enter the Hag 1 like loading zone, which we'll be seeing later, without getting this move. So We're just required to get this now. And then now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be grabbing a lot of notes. This is where a big chunk of our notes are coming from, this level, for the reason of we just get all 100 in this level. And then we're also going to unlock a very useful move for the section coming up, which is Egg Game. This is like basically our like shooting mechanic in first person. So after we unlock that, we have one more move we have to unlock, and then we're pretty much done unlocking moves. You don't need much to beat this game. You only need the bare minimum of Egg Game, going into first person mode, and then Clockworks, and then Build Drill, obviously, and Grenade Eggs. Like, that's all you need. There's 24 moves in the game, and we only get like 8. It's really funny. Here we're doing a trick called Slick Clip. It has a different name. I'm not going to call it by the other name. But I call it Slick Clip because we're basically going to be doing a beak bomb through this like little sliver. It's really precise, so it's probably going to take me a lot of tries. I wasn't getting it consistently in practice. Basically, the game just like treats you in when you're in this like certain point to like just like fly through just like that. Nice, no death. So yep, now we're fully out of bounds, and we're going to be going to an area called Jade Snake Grove for the reason of this is where we unlock our cheats. This is where the cheats are, and this is where we are going to just fly through the game now. So normally if I got it first try, I would take damage on that fire, but I already have my 2 health that I need here. We're gonna grab this warp just for marathon safety. In one of my runs that I did 2 days ago, I was on my best pace ever. I got my fastest ever code entry, and right as I was about to unlock all the cheats, one of the enemies just came up and killed me. So I was like, oh my gosh, that immediately killed the run, and I didn't get the save, so I was like, I had to redo everything again. All right, so I'm gonna lock in here. This is very much just focus time. Okay. The enemy got in my way. He got in my way again. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be really careful and try to see where he is. Okay. Cool. This is where we unlock him. We basically use 2 different cheats. So the first one is we're now gonna be flying. You see Banjo is just walking fast. That's just something we were just going to grab because it's very useful to just go as fast as possible through the section. And then the next part is we are going to unlock every level. And so we use a cheat called Jiggy Wiggy Special that basically unlocks every single level, including the final boss. And so we use those 2 cheats to just fly through the game now. And so now we're going to be going into Witchy World. And right now we're going to be grabbing basically all the notes we need except for like 20 that we're going to grab later. So here you just see how fast we're going. We're just going to be avoiding enemies and just going in straight lines trying to get all these notes. Oh, okay. Yeah, so then this is also where we're going to set up our second part of DCW, or Delay Cutscene Warp. Basically, then this is where we're going to like just start doing the glitch. So basically, since we kind of overlapped that cutscene previously and like it's not technically complete, there's going to be a door we're going to activate very soon that allows us to basically quote unquote finish the cutscene. However, since this cutscene is going between 2 worlds, this one and Glitter Gulch Mine, what's going to end up actually happening is if we reset the console when it's on Glitter Gulch Mine, what will end up happening is it'll actually store the incomplete cutscene. And so what will actually end up happening is we are going to it's going to allow us to overlap with any other cutscene, and that allows us to warp anywhere in the game. So that's where we reset the console. Now it's, kind of overlapped. So now we're going to be doing the final part of this DCW setup, and this is the final portion of the run. We're going to be warping to not Hag 1 yet. We're going to be warping to the credits. And you're going to probably ask why we're going to be going to the credits, but the reason is there are 2 credits in this game. There's the credits, and there's also Character Parade. Character Parade is the official credits. And so we're going to watch this Jam Jars one. That's how I memorize the one it is. We're going to have the Tower D Quiz or Tower of Tragedy credits. We're going to cancel it. That's our cutscene stored. We're going to go back into our file. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going back to Glitter Gulch Mine to basically complete this cutscene. And you're going to see what the game decides to do. So I'm just going to not talk. I'm just going to let the game speak for itself here. So here's the cutscene. Theoretically, we should be going to Witchy World, right? There's the credits. And now we are at the end of the game. So, we can't actually go into the final boss yet. We have one more move to collect before we can actually go inside. And so this is a little bit of a scary part, because if you die at any point during DCW, or post DCW, you will actually be warped back to Glitter Gulch Mine, which will in turn just immediately kill the run. So this part is really scary, but I can easily do this because I've done this a lot of times. So we get the spring pad because the spring pad will allow us to get back onto that platform. There's another glitch you can do. I forget what it's actually called, but it allows you to warp with the clockworks. I can't do that because have not learned that officially yet, but it's another option. So we're gonna grab that silo to allow us to warp back to or go into Quagmire again, because we need a move to get up here in the first place. We're now going to go to the Cloud Cuckoo Land area for 10 notes and then grab our final 10 notes near the clockwork area. So here it's a little scary because they're really close to the edge, just like that. Okay, just like that. And then now we have 315, which is our requirement. Now we have unlocked clockworks, and now we can officially beat the game. So, we still have around 7 minutes left, because that's how long the final boss is. Rare really loves long final bosses. When I ran 2 weeks ago on Express Lane with Donkey Kong 64, I was pointing that out as well. Rare really loves long bosses, because that fight itself is 12 to 13 minutes long. This is the second longest one. But yeah, now we're gonna be going back. Go all the way up here into Cauldron Keep. And then, yeah, we're going to be going to the final boss. There's going to be another cutscene here. I saw someone in the chat ask if this route is doable on the PAL/NTSCU version, and it actually is.
I was just about to chime in and relay that question to you. That's really funny timing.
Yeah. Yeah. The only difference that the Japanese version does is just skips one text box, and that's it. So the Japanese version on this route saves 2 seconds. Yeah, I own both. Here's my NTSCU cartridge. I forgot my camera's over here. So yeah, I mainly run 80% no bit clips and 100%, which the fastest versions are the NTSCU version. I own the Japanese version just for this category, which is really, really funny. Eventually, when I learn the true 80% version, it's also faster for true 80%. But I don't want to learn bit clips right now. Bit clips are really scary. Yeah, we have quite literally a minute plus like the intro of the fight. I really don't need to focus for that. So if you have anything to say, Helix, go right ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Another thing I wanted to shout out is PAX West. If you haven't heard, Games Done Quick is returning to PAX West August 29th through September 1st. Wow, that's another thing that's like really close. I didn't realize that. Submit your runs by July 27th for a chance to showcase your run live in Seattle. Speaking of things that are really close, July 27th, less than a week away, so get the submissions in soon. Go to gdq.gg/submit for more info, and by the way, selected runners will receive an event badge as well.
Yeah, I plan on submitting for PAX West. I need to actually do that immediately after this run.
Yeah, you do. No, y'all have like 5 days. So again, gdq.gg, why is that so hard to say? /submit. Get your submissions in for PAX West.
Awesome. So yeah, now we're on the final boss. This final boss, I categorize this fight as 3 main phases with a bunch of sub phases. And so we're on phase 1, which is where she just will move and just like spin around and try to attack us that way. Not much of a real threat yet. It's once we get to the second phase where some couple things can pose a threat, but for now we're just relaxed, just shooting Grunty with fire eggs and then just waiting around. This next sub phase is my favorite for the reason of she pulls out a cannon, and theoretically this like should be hard to dodge, but if we literally just go up to like the nozzle right there, like we can just look up to lag reduce. That's all we have to do, and then we just fall off once those 4 shots happen. Also, you may be wondering that she is asking us questions. It is not required me to get them right, thankfully. When you get it right, what happens is she will shoot the like green like spell slower, but if you get it wrong, it'll be faster. So like it's not a threat because we're already doing this fight pretty fast. Here she pulls out 2 cannons. We just do the same thing. It's as shrimple as that. But yeah, this is the end of the first main phase. After this, she's going to do a move where she is now going to fully activate the machine and move around and try to attack us. Ooh, I did not hit it. There we go. This is a bit of a dangerous section for the reason of it's kind of hard to predict when she'll move and when she'll will just stay and spin. So a lot of it is just trying to like see what she's doing. So what we're gonna do here is just, since we're in Super Banjo as well, we can just literally outrun her. This is something you would like normally not see in any other category. Is Cheato % exclusive, just absolutely bullying her. But yeah, this is the phase where we why we need Clockworks, and so basically what we're going to be doing after we hit Grunty here again is we have to shoot 2 Clockworks inside of the machine to destroy batteries, and the only way you do that is with Clockworks, and so that is the reason why we have to collect Clockworks at some point at the run. So we're gonna get 2 text boxes here. Normally you would not get the Clockwork introduction text box, because you should already be knowing, like in a normal playthrough you would already know how to use Clockworks, but since we basically warped here after immediately grabbing it, we get that text box. All right, so now next phase, there are lasers coming out from both of those corners, and so this is the one where it poses a bit more of a threat because she is just going to be moving much more chaotically. So just going to be a little bit more careful moving around here. in 100%, normally what you would do in this fight, instead of just like goofing off like I am, is you would basically try to recollect the amount of eggs you need. And the reason is because you enter this fight in 100% halfway through the run, because we just want to get it out of the way as soon as possible. And so we are pretty low on all the counts of eggs, and so this is like the fight where we just grab as much of a restock that we can. If you watch 100% runs, it's honestly really cool how we like try to manage all this, like all the egg stuff. But yeah, that's the end of the second phase. We're on to the final phase where the machine is completely dead, and so now Grunty's just gonna be doing everything she can to just stop us. So this first one, we're gonna do the normal 10 damage that we've been doing. So yeah, just aim up, shoot her. And then this next phase, I'm gonna switch to regular eggs for the reason of now we have to deal 15 damage to her. For the reason of we have 3 more hits left basically, or 3 more sub phases. So I'm gonna shoot her here like that. Just like that. And then now this next phase is this quote-unquote scariest part of the fight. She will release mustard gas, as the game calls it, and you are now under a like underwater timer, and so you have to like basically defeat her really quickly. It's not much of a threat since we're literally just shooting eggs. Time will be coming up very soon. This is the final hit right here. And time.
All right, GG.
Okay. Wow. I had my live split up. I just PB'd by a minute and a half.
That's a ridiculous amount. Wow.
Wow. I did not expect that.
Really good commentary for that too.
Yeah. Wow. I just logged in. That's what I just logged in. Awesome. Yeah, that was Cheato percent. It's a very fun category. It's a very easy category to get into. If you want to get into Banjo-Tooie speedrunning, this is like the easiest category to get into. You learn everything you need to for the run, and then you can expand from there onto like different categories. But yeah, I have a couple shout outs. I want to shout out Hidden Heroes and Helix for hosting. Also shout out to Anarchy. This is my 5th GDQ HOTFIX overall, with 4 of them being in the past 2 months. And I've ran Banjo-Tooie like twice already. It's pretty wild to think. But yeah, thank you for having me then. I want to shout out Frame Fatales. Really awesome community. Again, like we mentioned earlier, I'm running G-Force for Flame Fatales.
GameStuckDuck.com/schedule/58.
For that one. I want to shout out Lady Arcaders.
Sorry, go on.
You're good. I want to shout out Lady Arcaders. Basically, they have been facilitating all my like silly runs that I like just pitch. And one of those silly runs is a challenge that I discovered recently, but I knew it existed a while ago. And it's called the Banjo-Tooie Any Percent Fitness Challenge. You may be wondering what that is. Basically, every collectible you have to do a different exercise. It's very challenging because you have to like deal with so much, but there's also a lot of cutscenes. It's very fun. I'm doing that showcase on August 10th. Also want to shout out Binary Breakers because I'm also running the fitness challenge on the 3rd of August. So I have a lot of things going on.
Yeah, you're all over the place. This is the Ad 129 World Tour.
I want to shout out the Latino Hispanic speedrunners. Awesome community. And then I want to also give my final shout outs to the event that I organized, which is the 1545. What you may be wondering what that is. It's this game 100%, Banjo-Kazooie 100%, Donkey Kong 64 100%, Mario, Spyro, and Crash, like a whole bunch of games. We have our annual relay this weekend. I'll be running Banjo-Tooie 100%. Saturday at like 12 a.m. It's a 5-hour run, by the way, so I'm gonna be up till 5 a.m. It's gonna be a very fun time. It's gonna be a fun time. It starts on Friday at 7 p.m. CST. And then, you can find me on twitch.tv/ad129sr. I stream a lot of Banjo-Tooie. The next couple streams I've been doing have been mainly 100% because of the 1545 coming up. And then I also stream a bunch of other games, just basically whatever I'm in the mood to run. I also have a Blue Sky at 129.bluesky.social. I just yap about music and also just speedrun stuff. So if you're interested in my yapping, my Blue Sky is perfect. That is, I think, it. Thank you for having me.
An awesome run. We will be right back with more Hidden Heroes in just a few minutes. It's Super Mario Odyssey up next, so don't go anywhere.